I have a passion for the ongoing discussion about Kabale tourism city. We should have had it yesterday, not even today. But because of failure to align the aspirations of the people of Kigezi and the strategic intentions of the government, there is beginning to be a bad rubbing of shoulders. But first things first, the emphasis in my view should be put on two things. One, the issue of demarcations. When demarcations were done informally, there were complaints that the politicians then were looking at which areas have got the larger numbers of people who subscribe to their faith. And this became a very big problem on agreeing on the demarcations then. My suggestion is, and technically, should be that local government ministry comes at post office Kabale, then looks at the eastern direction 20 kilometers, western direction 20 kilometers, north 20, south 20. Everybody who falls within that radius of 20 kilometers from post office be part of the city. The discussion of changing boundaries for districts is not ours, it is for Parliament. Where I wouldn't want to suggest that entirely it is the issue of demarcations. But from the underlying voices, which are actually many, that issue was prominent. There was a disagreement between politicians on why, for example, boundary should reach Kakore in Rwanda, but stops at Nyakijumba, which is half a kilometer out of Kabale town. So the question was, why should we go the other side, yet you still have Kabale unfinished? Now the suggestion was that people were targeting their constituents, who will be a voting base for them for the future. But to me, fundamentally, that is fundamentally wrong. The idea of a city is for the benefit of every person in Uganda, but for people of Kabale specifically. Let us not think about who will be captured or not. Let us think about having a city within the prescribed radius by the local government. 20 kilometers radius come in the city. If numbers are smaller, then we cannot look at how to extend the demarcations, but principally 20 kilometers radius. Number two, the emphasis should also be put on people who have got lands in towns and town councils which are form of this city, but are untitled. We should be telling our people to put effort in ensuring that they get land titles for their small pieces of land that shall lie within a city, to avoid scenarios in the future whereby we shall have landlords and tenants, whereby we shall have government as a controlling authority of land, and people become renters on government land. So my emphasis should be to sensitize the people of Kigezi and Kabale to get land titles for their smaller pieces of land that shall lie within the municipality and the city. Lastly, we don't have cash crops, we don't have dairy, nor do we have minerals as Kabale district. So we shall be depending entirely on commerce, that is business on a daily basis. To thrive in business on a city landscape, you must have a corato so that you can get quick money to run businesses. And so the quick money can come from the titles which can be put in banks as coratos. I want to call upon my people in Kabale and Kigezi to ensure that you title your lands so that you can survive in a city setup, in a business, by having your titles work as corato.